now that we talked about your pattern and we talked about the beliefs you hold about yourself, I want to take this a step further because there's another layer to this that a lot of people don't realize is even there. And this layer is just as powerful. Welcome back to Becoming Her Voice series, a voice journal by Brittany Britt. And so it's not just what we believe about ourselves, right? It's also what we believe about life, about people, and what we believe about relationships. A lot of those beliefs we didn't choose consciously. We learned them. We picked them up through what we saw, what we experienced, what was modeled to us, and what was normalized around us. Just as I mentioned in the previous video, at the age of 2 and 3 years old, we're not questioning these things. We're just soaking it all up, taking it all in. And with that, we're seeing, oh, this is how you do that. Oh, this is what you say in this type of situation. This is how somebody's supposed to treat you. This is what loves look like. And because of that, over time, we stop questioning things. We just allow those sad things to happen to us, to accept them, to make it our normal. Because it's all we know, it's all we believe, it's all we was taught. And so it became our truth. Whether if it was good for us or not, whether it was healthy or not, it became our truth, our normal. And so now we're not just moving through life based on who we think we are. We're moving through life based on what we think life is going to give us. We move through life based on what we expect from people. And we also move through life based on what we think relationships are supposed to feel like. And a lot of those expectations are rooted in things we experienced a long time ago. And so I can speak to all of those things personally myself. I moved through life based on who I thought I was. And I started to build who I thought I was at a young age based off my environment, based off what I was told, based off how I felt. And so I also moved through life based off what I thought life was going to give to me. As a child, I grew up with the bare minimum. I grew up barely getting by. I grew up living off of government assistance. And so as I got older, I believe that was the way of life. I didn't expect much more out of life than what I was privy to as a child. And what I knew everyone else was accepting around me. Everyone in my family, from generation to generation, had been doing the same thing. And so why would I believe there's another way out there? Why would I believe things are going to be any different for me? So I expect that same thing for life to give me the bare minimum, for me to just be getting by. Relationships, and what they were supposed to feel like, that could be a whole nother video on topic by itself. But based off how I saw a man and a woman interact growing up, I thought it was okay. I thought a toxic relationship, that's just normal. It wasn't considered a quote unquote toxic, it was just a relationship. Men and women disagree, and this is what it looked like when they disagree. They yell, they argue, they fight, they throw things, they get loud, all the things. It was a normal. I didn't know nothing else to be true but that. And so I moved through life thinking that. Thinking that when I get in relationships, that if these things happen, oh, it's just a part of the relationship. Deal with it. Whether it was beneficial to me or not. And so when I say that a lot of those expectations are rooted in things you experienced a long time ago, these it didn't just happen in your relationship that you just got in. You've been operating from these same patterns, these same beliefs since a young child. So a couple examples here, right? Besides mine. So if you grew up in an environment where love was inconsistent, where it was there one moment and gone the next, we may have picked up that love doesn't last. It can be here today, gone tomorrow. So I'm not going to take this love thing seriously. And so with that, we may have learned that people leave. And so with that, then in order to stop people from leaving or to make experience last longer, we may have learned that we have to hold on tight or we have to accept less because if not, they will leave. We have to overextend ourselves. If not, they will leave us. And we would do all these things just to keep someone, whether it was a healthy dynamic or not, whether it was positive or negative, whether it served us or not, we still did whatever we had to do to hold on to it just so that person would leave because we have the belief that if we didn't overextend, if we didn't accept anything, that they would just leave. And if you didn't want that to happen, then we would do everything we can to make sure it didn't, even to our own demise, even to our own detriment. And so, another example, if you grew up seeing conflict, tension, or instability, may have learned that relationships are hard. Love comes with stress. You have to fight to be understood. That peace isn't something you can actually have, it's just something hoped for. And so, for some, if you've been hurt, betrayed, or let down multiple times, you start to believe that you can't trust people. And when you can't trust people, how can you even have a relationship? It's more of a self-preservation to protect yourself. So now, even when someone is showing up differently, showing that they are there for you, to support you, to love you, they appreciate you, we're still going to be guarded because we're still waiting for something to go wrong. This is too good to be true. There's no way something's going to happen. He's going to leave. He's going to start with, it's going to be an argument. It's going to be whatever. And this topic, I am talking about more romantic relationships, right? But this can be in any type of relationship, a parental relationship, a friendship, all the things. We can have our girlfriends and we think that I can't be real with her, I can't be vulnerable with her because she's going to go tell my business. But when you have someone who's truly there to support you, to love you through it all, you're still going to be guarded because of that belief that you obtained at a young age that they all leave. That's all you saw. Growing up was everybody leave. You would turn around and it'd be somebody there tomorrow, somebody new. And you're like, dang, where such and such is go? What happened to them? Oh, we got into it. Oh, it didn't work out. Oh, she told my business. Oh, he this. Whatever that may have be. And so, like I said, you're constantly waiting for something to go wrong. And with that, you're always going to be preparing yourself to be disappointed. Before the disappointment come, we are already preparing ourselves to be disappointed because we just know it has to happen. It has to happen. This is life. This is how life functions. This is how life works. Nothing ever works out. Everyone always leave. I have to do this and that to receive love, to be cared for, whatever that may be. You're always preparing yourself for disappointment. And the thing is, these beliefs don't just sit in our mind. They shape how we move. They shape our decisions. And they shape what we tolerate, shape what we allow. And so now we're just not randomly ending up in certain situations. We are now choosing people that align with what we believe. That's why when people say you attract who you are, you attracted that thing, you attracted that person. And if it's a negative situation, we're going to look at that like, what do you mean I attracted that? No, I did not want that. I did not want that to happen to me. I did not want that to be said to me. I did not want to lose out on that opportunity. What do you mean I attracted that? But that's what they mean. That's what that means. Based off how we move, how we operate, are the situations that ultimately come to us. And so now we're just not ending up in random situations, right? We're choosing people that don't align with what we believe. We're staying in situations that feel familiar, even if they don't feel good. We're overlooking things, not because we don't see them, but because they match what we've already accepted as our normal. And if it's normal, then it must be true. If it's true, it must be normal. If this is how this was growing up and this is all I saw as a child, then why would I expect anything else differently? This is life. This is how life functions. This is how life goes. This is the part that's hard to sit with, right? But it's real. We don't just attract certain experiences. We allow what feels familiar, and familiar doesn't always mean healthy. Familiar just means you've experienced it before. And so now we might find ourselves saying things Like, why does this keep happening to me? Why do I keep attracting the same type of person? Why do I keep ending up in the same situations? And it's not because it's something wrong with us. It's because something has been normalized within us. At some point, we learn that this is just how it is. This is just how people are. This is just how relationships go. And once something like that becomes your belief, you just stop questioning it and you start expecting it. And your expectations will quietly shape your reality. And so now you go into situations already prepared. As I mentioned earlier, prepared to be let down, prepared to be misunderstood, prepared to not be fully chosen, prepared to have to overgive just to receive the bare minimum. And because you're expecting it, you don't challenge it when it shows up. You don't question it when it happens. You recognize it and accept it. Because somewhere deep down, it makes sense. It makes sense to us. And this is where it connects back to everything we've been talking about. Because now you have two things working together. One, what you believe about yourself, the internal beliefs, and what you believe about the world, the external beliefs, with the big things being love, life, and relationships. And so if you believe I'm not enough and people always leave, you are going to move through life in a way that confirms both of those beliefs. If you believe I have to learn love and love is hard, you are going to overextend yourself in relationships that drain you. And it can even drain you to depletion, and you're still going to be trying to give because you believe love is hard and that you must learn love. And that's going to feel normal to you. If you believe you can't trust yourself and people can't be trusted, you're going to stay stuck in confusion, hesitation, and overthinking. And that's why it feels like no matter what you do, nothing really changes. Because even if you try to do something different on the surface, your beliefs are still the same. And your beliefs will always pull you back into familiar patterns. I don't care what you do. Like I tell my ladies, that surface level healing, that surface level work, it might work for a good month, couple weeks, a day or two. But the true life change you want, you have to focus on your beliefs because that will ultimately change your patterns. Because here's the truth, just because you learned it doesn't mean it's true. Just because you experienced it That does not mean it's what you have to continue to experience. And because it feels familiar, doesn't mean it's right for you. And another thing I always tell my ladies, you have the ability to choose. You have a choice. Because even though you picked up things that you observe as a child and in your childhood, throughout life, I'm sure you also picked up or became aware of other ways of thinking, of believing, of seeing, of functioning. And even though that may seem out of normal for you, even though you may question it or laughed at it or thought that that was doing too much, that still gave you another option. And you can choose. Does this benefit me? I'm going to keep it. Does this serve me? I'm going to keep it. Does this help me? Nah, I'm going to let it go. You get to make those choices. You get to just change your belief system. Because at some point, you have to start questioning what you've accepted as normal. You have to start asking yourself, what do I actually believe about life? What do I expect from people? What have I been telling myself is just how it is? Not what you were taught, what you were told, how you should, what you saw. What is it you right now? Answer those questions for yourself. And most importantly, where did I learn that? That's the digging deep part. Because once you can connect your pattern to where it originated from, then you can say, wow, I was 2 years old and I just thought that's what it's supposed to be. You then now have that power to change it, to think differently, to say, that don't serve me. I was a child. I didn't know any better. Because until you start questioning those beliefs, you will continue to live them out. And most of the time, we don't even realize it. So instead of just trying to change your behavior, start paying attention to your expectations. Pay attention to what you assume before something even happens. And pay attention to what you prepare yourself for. Are you expecting things to go wrong? Are you expecting to be disappointed? And are you expecting to overgive just to receive a little? Because those expectations are not random. They're coming from something. And once you start becoming aware of that, that's when everything begins to shift. And this is why deeper work matters. Because it's not just about understanding yourself. It's about unlearning what you've been taught to believe about life. It's about challenging what you accepted as normal. And it's about giving yourself permission to experience something different. This is the type of work I go into deeper. I go deeper into understanding your patterns, connected them back to your beliefs, and actually doing the work to shift them from the inside out. Through my journal and inside Becoming Her, and even in my community room, Becoming Room, my community group, Becoming Room. Because awareness is just the beginning. What you do with it is what changes everything. You're not just unlearning who you are, you're unlearning what you thought life had to be. Thank you for joining the Becoming Her Voice series again. A voice journal by yours truly, Brittany Britt.